Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Currency. It's still Heritage Month, so a happy Heritage Month to everyone. And, a topic that is an absolute must during Heritage Month is the topic of Stokvels. I couldn't think of anyone more apt for this interview than the lady joining us this morning, Ms. Busi Skenjana. She has been in the Stokvel industry for many, many, many years and extremely well respected. The most knowledgeable person I know around Stokvel. So we're just going to have a wonderful chat with you regarding, what the impact COVID has on Stokvels, what is the future for Stokvels, what do we look out for, all of those types of things. Busi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Welcome to Currency.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
You are the founding CEO of BSK Marketing, which is a Stokvel company, as well as the Stokvel Academy.
Yeah.
Please tell us more about both your organizations.
Oh, once more, thanks, Martin, for that wonderful introduction. And yes, indeed, Stokvels is just, the love of my life on a personal level and from a business perspective as well. I'll just touch briefly on BSK Marketing, which is a marketing and promotions agency, focusing primarily on Stokvels. What that means is, companies out there who want to connect with Stokvels from a purely marketing perspective, we make that happen. I've been doing that since 1998,
Wow.
So I saw a niche in actually this specific market segment, which is called Stokvels. And having done that over a number of years, I then realized that, it's not fair just to get Stokvels to be consumers of products and services only. There is definitely a need to actually educate Stokvels, be it financial services, be it just basic commodities, consumption. So education is quite close to my heart, just to make sure that Stokvels indeed develop, they don't just remain as consumers.
And that's what the Stokvel Academy does.
Definitely, that's the thought that gave birth to the Stokvel Academy.
That's incredible, because I can only imagine you must have been in contact with hundreds of thousands of Stokvels and Stokvel members over the years. And there's that misconception that Stokvel members go to Stokvels for saving schemes and grocery schemes because they're not money savvy. Please educate us about this, because I cannot understand that 44 billion rand per annum goes into the system and people are not money savvy.
Definitely. That doesn't make sense at all, we just have to have a conversation with individual Stokvels, and try and find out exactly, understand their journey, as members of the Stokvel. Then you'll then discover how money savvy they are. Yes, mistakes do happen. Even people, who are outside Stokvels, they do make money mistakes. Yes. But what is key for me is the achievement that is not actually recognized and acknowledged. A few days ago, I was interviewing a group of ladies in Carltonville, and I just wanted to find out, when did they start their Stokvel? One, they started the Stokvel in 1996. Wow. And then I asked them a simple question: what have you achieved from 1996 up until today? One of the ladies actually she took out a frame where her son was graduating. I said, okay, what was that? She says, no, my son is a chartered accountant, through, my Stokvel savings. Now, this is the impact that Stokvels have made in ordinary men and women out there in their communities. They went on and started telling, you see our houses, we don't owe anyone. They are bond free because of Stokvels. So these things are not recorded, that we don't talk about them, We only focus on the basics, which is fine. Like food, I'm not against that. So there's a lot of work and achievements within the Stokvel community, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done as well to educate them, to take them, to the higher level, especially within our economy.
Now, do you think that COVID-19 has negatively impacted the Stokvel market?
I wouldn't say it has negatively impacted Stokvels, on a larger scale. Yes, from just your basic contributions per month, some Stokvels are negatively impacted in that those who have lost their jobs, they probably will not be able to contribute. But the spirit of Stokvels is still there. And in my view is that COVID-19 has actually brought them closer in that we're here to support one another, So probably things like you'd be allowed to skip your monthly contributions, until such time that you get sorted out,
What is it that Stokvel members, when they're joining Stokvels, should know about their Stokvel and should find out before they start in order to circumvent that?
That's a very important question, Martin, because, Stokvels are now, the Stokvel concept is being abused by people who are really opportunists out there. And yet we forget one thing, that Stokvels were started, people who know one another very well, that community, there's
Yes.
that, we all working together, we're all neighbors, we are family. So you don't just ordinarily join a Stokvel with people that you don't know, strangers on a WhatsApp or some social media, because trust is quite key. You trust people that you know. You don't trust some strange being out there, So one of the most important pillars of Stokvel is that trust. You become part of this movement with people that you can trust, people that even when they've got financial challenges, you'll be able to empathize and relate with that. So my advice is that before you join a Stokvel, one, assess who are these people, and also find out, is it in line with your needs, with your objectives. Don't just let Mama Busi to say, hey, Chomza, come this side, let's join this Stokvel,
Yeah.
because Mama Busi may be happy in that Stokvel. She clicks with that group of people. Stokvels are almost personal to a certain extent,
There's a very, very strong social element
Definitely,
to them as
there
well.
is, yeah, definitely.
Mabusi, tell us some of the exciting Stokvels that there are out there. I know that there's the student one where there's the education Stokvels, but I also know that there's investment Stokvels and all of those. And what are the success stories that you can tell us about those?
Yeah, I think what is emerging now, especially with the younger generation, it's investment Stokvels, and of course investment is quite a broad topic, broad subject, but the most common one would be property.
Wow.
People say we're starting a Stokvel so that we can invest in property, and I just want to clarify here that when we talk property investment, it doesn't mean that building, retail shops and all these big things. You can start with a simple thing as adding a backyard room,
Wow.
at home, and generate revenue out of that, and then the backyard room can end up building another room or student accommodation. So we have to look at it in a very simple and basic way to start with. But the also trend that I'm observing is business support.
Yes.
Because right now we're in the gig economy,
Yes.
youngsters are doing this and that, and you need to buy perhaps equipment for your business. Then if you start a Stokvel with like-minded people, you will be able to probably acquire whatever tools that you need for your trade. So business support, which goes back to the origin of the Stokvels. The Stokvels were there to support each other. Yes, basic level it was in terms of death, burial Stokvels, and basic food. But now I'm seeing an evolution of Stokvel in terms of actually development amongst themselves.
Fantastic, Mabusi. I wish we could sit here and talk all day, but we are running out of time. And I just want to recap to our viewers the importance of Stokvels and how it's evolved and what they need to look out for, when they are seeking these opportunities within Stokvels. So you heard from the absolute expert in the Stokvel industry around Stokvels. Make sure that you align yourself with the right Stokvels, with the right vision, and you have the right morals. Make sure that what you're wanting to achieve out of your Stokvel is what your Stokvel is going to be giving back to you. And last but not least, go and look at opportunities on how you can support one another through Stokvel initiatives in order to either save your businesses, put your kids through school, all of those types of things. Stokvels are such a big part of our heritage. We know that it's going to be here for many generations to come and just evolve as it goes along. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Mabusi, thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge and your time with us. I'm sure this is not going to be the last time that we invite you, because there's so much for us to discuss about it. But thank you so much for joining us this morning.
No, it's a great pleasure.
We look forward to welcoming you back next week to Currency, where we continue with Poverty is Not Our Heritage during Heritage Month. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.